I guess if you look forward and actually think that marriage is a platform on which you can actually start a family, then you have to look at the real reasons why you're getting married. If you want to marry someone who'll actually raise up your kids, you want someone to do that in the best environment. In situations where the husband, for example, is a Muslim and the wife is a Christian or a Jew from another faith, how do the actual children grow up in that environment? Do you find from your own personal experience that they're confused in their faith, or do they follow their dad's faith predominantly more than the
What tends to happen more often than not is the parents, either one will dominate the scene, right, and the other one will just become very submissive to whatever happens and is let it be. Or what happens is they both will tend to let go and say, let the child choose. Well, that is more and more happening in the West, where children are allowed to choose. Well, you don't learn morality, you don't learn spirituality. Someone has to guide you. This is the whole message of faith. Mm-hmm. God sends messengers and they teach us the basics. And then after the parents are given the initial role, as Allah told the Holy Prophet Muhammad, we're all born Muslims, what a nature of Islam. But what happens then? Parents, they come in and mess it up. Mm-hmm. Friends, society, it comes in and just messes it up. So if parents take the hands-off approach, quite often you see these children struggle in life with spiritual issues, or the issue of God existence, or I believe in any God and all God and we're all equally, is not of a great value. Mm-hmm. I have some sense of it, but not a real sense of it, a real purpose of it. I find that also to be a great challenge and struggle in this concept of a mixed spiritual or religious wedding.
But at the same time, as we said before, in the Quran it does give you permission. So does that come with certain guidelines? Are there certain places where you are allowed to? Because it seems to be discouraged.
Well, yes, guidelines are certainly there, and predominantly you have to be confident, as he was mentioning, while you are taking that step. Are you sure that this is going to hold? I give examples in my own area back home, that there are two horses fitted in front of your cart. The cart is your family. If it is facing the same direction, the cart is going to move smoothly. But if both the horses are fixed in opposite direction, and then you start pushing them or rolling them, the cart is going to break. The family life is going to go to a mess. So that is where we have to be absolutely sure. You are talking about Jews and Christians. I'm talking about Ahmadiyya and non-Ahmadiyya marriages. They happen. That thing happens over there as well. So that is where we say, have a heart, use your common senses. You are an Ahmadi Muslim. You have given priority to your belief. So you have to take a stand here.
Yeah. Okay, let's get some audience views as well. So we've got a point at the back.
I think it's very important in terms of what the panel have said in terms of compatibility and actually finding in marriage the sanctity of marriage. It's vitally important that you do it within, for the sake of Allah, you're doing it. It's based on prayers, and you're looking for a righteous partner, and ideally trying to find somebody that's got the same faith as you and belief. And as Rabbi Sahaba said, in terms of the analogy of the cart he's given, if you've got both people pulling in the same direction, inevitably it's going to work. And if you've got them pulling in opposite directions, it's going to distort the house and break that up, and therefore you'll have problems of, you have single parents looking after families, broken homes, and this causes basically disorder. And this is the problems that we get in breakages of marriages and so forth, which leads to that disruption, and the children going down a wrong way and so forth. So it's vitally important that the parents have an understanding of that.
That's a valid point. Just moving on slightly, if, for example, what we were talking about arranged marriages, there's some people who don't have parents available to help them actually arrange their marriage. And in the Jamaat we have the Rishanata set up as well. So as a sub, can you just briefly explain what someone can do in that situation? For example, if your parents aren't around to arrange marriage.
It's something I was thinking about all along, and I'm glad you raised this point, because naturally we're talking about an ideal setup of a family, a nuclear family where you have father, mother, and the children, and these are all Muslims, Ahmadi Muslims, mashallah. What about the convert who steps in at the age of 30 and says, now I want to marry, and who's going to help me, who assists me? Well, if it's a man, he is still going through the process of this search. The first process is searching for someone. Who helps him to search? Who are his sources of guidance and it's a support network? That has to then be the family, spiritual family he has joined, the Jamaat. Jamaat must become his brothers, his sisters, his parents, his aunts, his uncles, his eyes, his ears, his information source. So there in Jamaat we have a system called Rishta Nada. Rishta Nada is the Department of Matrimonial Affairs or matchmaking. And your name is put into the system where now they can begin to suggest to you, again, not tell you, suggest to you, here are some seemingly suitable partners for you in terms of your compatibility, age, income, whatever they're looking at, and then you go on from there. But you must then do your follow-up. You can't rely only on Jamaat, which is the thing that people get caught up in. They think Jamaat has to be, again, the perfect matchmaking system, whereas you don't give that complete, let's say, authority to even your parent. Why do you think Jamaat has to take the same thing? Jamaat is only giving you the best available information and best suggestion, but a man still has to make his choice.